I was listening to her heartbeat. I forgot to mention that a couple hours earlier, the doctor had come in and broke my water, checked me, all that kind of stuff, and left me to continue laboring. While I was trying to get some rest, I kept listening to her heartbeat, and I knew that if I could hear her heartbeat and knew that it kicked at the same pace, then she was fine. Every time I thought that her heartbeat was slowing down, I would call the nurse, and I called her a lot. And I would say, "Is she okay? Is she okay? Is she okay?" And the nurse would tell me, "Yes, she's fine." And then she would check me and leave. And then she'd come back again. After a while, I called her, and she's like, "Okay," and she checked me, and she's like, "All right, you're ready to push. Let's go ahead and push a couple times." So I pushed 2 times, and she's like, "Okay, stop. Don't push anymore." And I'm like, "Okay." Well, it wasn't a problem for me to not push anymore because I had no urge to push at all. Not a single urge to push. And I think it was because I had so much of the epidural, it was still so strong in me that I absolutely felt no pressure. I felt nothing. Because I've heard that some women still feel the urge to push, still feel a little pressure down there. And they usually turn down the epidural so you can feel a little bit, or something along those lines. But I absolutely felt nothing. So she told me to stop pushing, so I did, and the doctor came in, he checked me, and he immediately turned to the nurse and started yelling at her. And he's all, "Why isn't she pushing? She should have been pushing a long time ago." And he was like literally screaming at this nurse in front of me. And I was totally scared. I had no idea what was going on. Then he sat down in front of me, and he's like, "Okay, you need to push." So I pushed 2 times, and he's like, "Okay, we have to go to emergency C-section now. This baby's under stress." And her heart rate is dropping. So we went to emergency C-section, and I was scared out of my mind. We went straight there. They told my husband he better hurry or he's going to miss it because it's a emergency. We went in, and I kept asking, "Is she okay? Is she okay?" And the nurse would say, "She'll be fine." And my husband got there. A few seconds later, Denny was born, and I remember seeing her for the first time, and I said to my husband, "She has your lips." And then I remember them stitching me up, and I went back. They took me back into recovery, and I remember waking up later and meeting my daughter. Like getting to hold her. So it was hours after I had her that I actually got to hold her. So needless to say, my delivery was not what I expected. And now, after doing a lot of research, I've come to the conclusion that it could have been prevented. There could have been a lot of things done differently, and part of it was my being naive and not knowing what was going on, that kind of thing. So now I know more about. I've done so much research since then, and I started my research after I got home, and it all sunk in what happened. I started right away doing research, and I still, years later, I'm still looking up stuff. But so this is my conclusion, and this is what I'm going to change in my next delivery with my next child. When we get pregnant, I'm going to do several things different, and hopefully it will change the outcome of my next labor.